Hey Rockstar, Steve aka Void here, and I help guitar players learn how to play songs faster. And I do that in a way that you might not think. Basically, today what we're going to talk about is what fingers should I use when I play this riff? This is a very common question that people ask me, and this often I get this question in my Play from Day One program, where VIP members will say they'll have a riff that they want to learn, and they either try something that gets them into a little bit of like an obstacle, like they hit an obstacle, or they just ask me before they start, what fingers should they use? So by the way, if you want to get that information, if you want to work with me personally on songs that you want to learn, then definitely check out playfromday1.com. That's playfromday1.com. You could add your name to the waiting list, answer a few questions, and then I'll read your responses and reach out to you when a spot becomes available for you. Now, as far as a general answer of what fingers should you use to play, basically, I like to follow the one finger per fret principle. And what that means is when you're playing a riff, typically you want to go with one finger per fret. So if the riff all sort of happened within the 7th fret to the 10th fret, then typically everything that has to do with the 7th fret would happen with the index finger. Everything with the 8th fret would be the middle finger, everything with the 9th fret would be the ring finger, and everything with the 10th fret would be the pinky. So typically, if everything is within an area like that, you want to make sure that you have one finger per fret. That's typically what I follow, okay? Now, doesn't mean that's always the case. Often when there's 2 frets apart, like if the riff has 2 frets apart, then I'll use my index finger and my ring finger because those are 2 fingers apart. Or it might be my middle finger and my pinky because those are 2 fingers apart. And that's the rough sort of template that I use. But that doesn't always mean that that's the best way to do it. That doesn't mean that's the best way to do it for you. Now, I might break that rule. I might not follow that guideline all the time. I just go with whatever feels the best in the moment. Now, for you, if you can play something and it sounds like music, it sounds like good sounding music, and you feel comfortable doing it, don't worry about anything that's in a textbook. Don't worry about anything that you hear any guitar teacher mention, including myself. If you're playing something and it sounds good and feels good to you, then those are the right fingers. Okay, so I just want to make that clear. And if you, but if you're lost, if you're stumbling on, what finger to use, often there's 1 or 2 sort of like quote unquote correct ways to play it. And always, I would recommend looking at the video of the guitar player who wrote the part, to double check what they do. And actually, I recently did this. So in Play from Day One, every month, we have a what's called a jam session. It's a monthly jam session, and I actually discussed this in at the beginning of this month. We were looking at Slash and Sweet Child of Mine, and so this specific thing, this is where I got the idea for this video, is because this is something that I see very, very often, and Sweet Child of Mine is such a great example of this. Basically, Sweet Child of Mine is a riff that you can play, I think, in 2 different ways. Let me get my my distortion going over here. It's going to be just a little bit noisier, but that's okay. So, got some distortion going over here. Now, when you think about this riff, let me get some volume here. So, like when you get this riff, everybody knows this riff. By the way, let me get a little bit more. Let's see if I can get some arena. Yeah, that should be good. Yeah, okay. So, got some arena reverb over here. This riff, I always play this riff with 1 finger per fret. So every single thing on the 12th fret is an index finger. Anything on the 13th fret, which there isn't anything on the 13th fret, but that would be with the middle finger. The ring finger would play anything on the 14th fret, and my pinky plays anything on the 15th fret. And so when I'm playing this, when I play that, it's all, to me, it feels organized. Now, even actually, as I think about this, even as I'm playing it, there are a couple of exceptions to the rule, because here at the end, the pinky does go to the 14th fret, and that's only because of the way the riff works. Like, for example, I wouldn't be able to do every single thing on with the ring finger, because that would be like this. It would go. I'd have to jump down, and it would kill the note that I'm currently playing. Or I could even roll it, but that probably wouldn't be comfortable. Like, I'd have to roll it like that, but that wouldn't be comfortable. So even within the 1 finger per fret sort of guideline, there's still some exceptions as the pinky kind of comes back, but generally it's 1 finger per fret. So when I'm playing that, I feel in control because it's 1 finger per fret. I don't have to look. I could just kind of feel my way around. But it's interesting because if you've tried this riff, or if you've watched Slash play this riff, whether live or on video, you would have noticed that he played with 3 fingers. He does the classic thing where he's sort of dodging the pinky altogether. So the pinky, imagine that pinky's not even there. He plays it like this. Now, those two and this are the same exact note sequences, but executed differently. One of them, my way, uses 4 fingers, all 4 fingers, and Slash's way uses all 3. Or uses only 3. So which way is better? And the answer is neither. Whichever way is better for Slash, that's what he uses. Whichever way is better for me, that's what I use. Whatever way is better for you, that's what you use. If you somehow wanted to use 2 fingers, let's just say, for example, if that sounded good, and it felt good, then use 2 fingers. I don't care, as long as it sounds like music and you're feeling comfortable and you're not all in your head about it. I typically think that 3 or 4 fingers work best. This is the Slash way. This is my way. So 3 fingers versus 4 fingers. I'm curious, if you know this riff, please let me know in the comments. Let me know if you learned this with 3 fingers or with 4 fingers. But I want to let you know, when it comes to, that question, what fingers should I use to play this riff? It really comes down to, well, what feels comfortable for you and what sounds good. Because even if something feels comfortable, if it doesn't sound good, then you're probably going to want to use different fingers. If something sounds good but it isn't comfortable, then you probably want to use different fingers because it doesn't feel right. So the question, or the answer, is that it's up to you. And if you really don't know what fingers to use, then definitely let me know. I mean, like I said, in my Play From Day One program, you can check out the link below, playfromday1.com. This is the kind of thing that I tell you, okay, well, instead of using the index finger for this part, that finger should actually be the middle finger, because I think that that'll be a lot more comfortable for you and it'll sound better. And so I'll tell you those things. But as a sort of rough guideline, I like to go with the 1 finger per fret principle, where you assign 1 finger to each fret, or whenever there's like 2 frets apart, you use index and ring, like things that are 2 fingers apart. Okay, does that make sense? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, I answer every single question, and I'm curious to know what you think about this. What finger should you use? Do you have a way that you go about doing this? And also, what songs are you working on? Have you encountered any obstacles when it comes to choosing fingers? Okay, I'm curious. Let me know in the comments below. Again, if you want to work with me personally to learn songs faster, definitely check out Play From Day One. Add your name to the waiting list. So playfromday1.com. Add your name to the waiting list, answer a few questions, and when a spot becomes available for you, I'll reach out to you and we could discuss your options. So that's all I've got for today. Again, please leave a comment below. Let me know the questions that you have and what you thought of the video, and we'll talk soon. Take care.